so we can go now. So now we are doing 25 miles per hour. We are on a 4th gear, as you can probably see. 29 on 5th, 30, 31, still 5th gear. There is also, so like, even this, despite this is like the lowest level of DSG, there is still a sport mode. So to activate the sport mode, you just kind of, you know, pull it up back like towards you. So we just put it down, and you can see it's S2. It changes the characteristics of the gearbox. So the gears, so basically it's changing gears at higher RPM. But the problem with this particular mode on this particular car is that there are some vibrations coming from the engine bay. So it's actually really, I'm not sure whether you can hear it, but it's really annoying. Like, I mean, I can't live with it. I'm not sure whether you can hear it. One interesting fact about sport mode is in sport mode it's changing. Also, it's you can actually brake with gears. So when you're, let's say, going downhill, when you have a sport mode on, it's same as in manual. You would be downshifting, and by doing this, you're kind of braking, right? In drive mode, this doesn't apply, but in sport mode, it is. So I guess it is a, you know, good feature for maybe, you know, if you're going downhill, you know, from like some mountain or whatever, and you just don't want to use brakes so much because you bought this car because you're kind of really on a budget, and you don't want to change brake pads, so you can actually use the sport mode. So now, I'm not sure whether you can hear, but I hope you can hear it. So this noise drives me nuts. I mean, seriously, why has someone not I don't know, thought about it, not tested these cars? That's not the only Superb that develops this noise. So the actual noise is coming somewhere from the actual I think from the engine bay, like very close to the front windshield. I'm not quite sure what it is. I checked some of the forums, and it seemed there could be some, I think, valve which kind of is getting into these vibrations at certain RPM. I'm not entirely sure. This is almost exclusive for sport mode. If it's on a normal, you know, drive mode, it's alright. I suppose that's because of the RPM, I guess. So we will. And also, interesting thing about characteristics of this particular DSG is when you're turning, and it's not really visible at the speed, but if you will be going a bit quicker, sometimes it's almost like it doesn't know what to do. So it's like, oh, so the car is turning, I have, like, I don't know, 5th gear or 4th gear. Should I keep it or should I change it? And it's almost like it's just like completely uncertain what's the next course of the action. Again, it seems like this thing was well mentioned by many users of DSG from VAG, from Volkswagen Group. So we will just now make a good turning here. Oh. Whoa, I feel scared now. So if you have a lot of points on your driving license, make sure you get one of these cars. You know, you will definitely not go too fast. unless you are really talented and you wanna just see and check for yourself how crazy you can be to get any points on this car, you know, on license in this car, then yeah, why not? That may be a good idea. So right guys, so I'll show you how this car accelerates. If we put it into the sport mode, don't expect too much. As I said, 1.6, 120 brake horsepower, according to manufacturers, 0 to 60 in like 11 seconds. So, but I'll show you how quickly the gears are changed. You see, this is actually, you know, fairly quick for you know, for this power output, and so it's nothing special, but I actually think that this gearbox only for city driving, this is alright with this power. The problem starts if you're doing a lot of kind of long runs and you need that extra power for motorway overtaking, or like if you're on a country road and there is just like some Sunday driver in front of you just doing like, you know, 40 on 60, and you just can't take it anymore. Like, you will have to think a month ahead before you will overtake anyone. You know what I mean? This is so for most of the situations, like if you're just like an average Joe and you want to get from A to B around city, this is gonna be alright. Like, there wouldn't be any problem. But as I say, the challenge is that unfortunately sometimes you need that extra power and it's not there. And I have a feeling I don't know much about this particular engine, despite I have it in this car. But I have a feeling that this engine is actually limited for purpose by Skoda, or like by Volkswagen in general, because if you think about it, the next version up, which is 2 liters, it has like 148 or 150 brake horsepower. Why would anyone buy 1.6, which could easily have maybe, let's say, 140, if the 2 liters had 150? And I know someone would say, oh yeah, but 2 liters could have more power then. And of course it could, and it has. Because, you know, you have like 150, 190, but then the question would be, where's the limit? And I suppose, you know, 120, you know, if someone is going for this engine, you know, that means they don't really care about it maybe too much, and, you know, emissions are low, and etc, etc. That's kind of my random thought. I have a feeling this engine could have, like, in my opinion, it has potential for a bit more power, like 140. Even when you're looking at, like, you know, tuning boxes, or like, you know, all this cheap tuning, the kind of like first stage, which is just like kind of plugging in something or doing the remap, usually it's like output would be 140, between 140 and 150 brake horsepower from original 120. So I suppose it is doable, and it's just a matter of the thing that just doesn't have, but that's probably because of, you know, sales and how the whole business, it's kind of like a business model, right, for them, I suppose. So now we are on the drive mode. Drive mode is much, I don't want to use word refined, because there is nothing refined about this car in general, but it is fairly smooth. So like when you're moving and you're just on drive, you know, it takes a bit longer for the gear to change, and so it's actually okay. And as I mentioned before, if you're just stuck in the traffic, it may not be visible now because it's actually quite smooth, but it's not. Usually, it's not actually as smooth as you would expect. This is the Charleshurst, basically dealerships. They have like some crazy cars around here. We've got, oh, that's just like Jeeps. I'm not sure. I don't like these models. They just look like cheap to me. But whoa, we've got my favorite make, Lexus, on the left-hand side, and there are like some crazy, really nice cars. So this is yeah. So that's Lexus. I think new RX, those NX, old RX. We've got, I think, RC. We can just go right and I'll show you what other cars they've got there. They've got some really, really nice cars. So we've got Toyotas here. Just like, I like Hilux. I used to drive one for like two months, maybe 3 months, and Hilux was really good. I would say really good car. Just like really basic in a way, but just you'll get everywhere, and really nice positioning in the car. You sit high up, and okay, so here we go. That's like a bit nicer Skodas around here. Is it a new Superb? Sport GT? That's another Bentley. Maybe in next life. We've got, oh, Aston Martins, Ferraris, Ferrari, another Ferrari, and another one, another one, and another one. Okay, so if you're buying Ferrari and then you're maybe looking to buy some Renault, it's here as well. I wouldn't mind swapping my Skoda for Ferrari, but I don't think anyone would be interested. So just one more thing about the car as well, which is very interesting. Depending on the markets, like these Skodas were sold with different accessories or like different versions. So for example, in Republic of Ireland, as far as I know, as well as in Poland, where I'm from, you couldn't get this car without cruise control. And I'm pretty sure the same thing applies to like parking sensors. Correct me if I'm wrong. Unfortunately for the UK, which is a bit strange in a way, I would say, you can get a car like this, for instance, without cruise control and without parking sensors. How does it work? I don't know. It's just, I suppose maybe if it's used as a hired car, or maybe if it's used, well, just a small off topic, Honda Civic as a taxi. My cousin has one of these, bought like a sport version, 1.5 turbo, 180 odd brake horsepower, and it's actually a really nice car. Like, so my cousin's is the hatchback version with like dual exhaust at the back. This one seems like a more basic but sedan. It's cool. Like they look really, really cool. There's a lot of them in Asia, so like in Thailand, Malaysia, there's a lot of cars like this. So I was actually surprised, and many of them were really kind of modded, and they've had a lot of kind of different modes. This guy cut me. So we'll just have to go do some small shopping. Oh yeah. It's a really fast car. Oh yeah.